What's going on, guys? Digidesdan here, back again with another pickup video for you, and this week is great. Tons of great things in the haul, games, comics, controllers, accessories, knickknacks, all that cool stuff. And all of it is secondhand, so that's a good thing. I didn't buy anything from retail, or kind of retail, but I'll get to that in just a second. First thing I want to show you is just some things I got from Half Price Books. And if you don't know what Half Price Books is, it's a bookstore. It's a secondhand bookstore, and they deal in media, games, CDs, Blu-rays, movies, comic books, even collectible figurines and puzzles and so on and so forth. But just want to show off real quickly, I'm a huge fan of the Flash DC comics, and this is like the Mark Waid run of the Flash with Wally West. Huge fan of this series and this franchise. Just want to show you real quick. I've been looking for these, and I'm going for a complete set. Also from Half Price Books, I found a couple games, couple cool ones actually. This one is an uncommon one. This one is Alien Hominid, and it's the same people who made Castle Crashers. This was actually a Flash game on your internet browser. It started off on Newgrounds, I believe, newgrounds.com, and they ported it to PlayStation and GameCube, I believe. Yeah, this is a very cool one, very uncommon. There's $10, really not a bad price. I remember this was one of the last games that I was looking for my GameCube collection a while back before I finished off that set. Not the complete set, but my set. But this one is super hard to come by, but it's really affordable. It's very challenging. It's a very fun shooter if you're into that sort of thing. The next game from Half Price Books, kind of in line with what I showed earlier, one of my first finds, the Flash books. This is the Flash Gameboy game, and I got this one for $10 as well. I paid this much just because I don't come across this game too often. I'll show you a closer look at the label if I can. This game is actually based off the John Wesley Shipp live action TV show from the 90s. Fun fact, I actually met John Wesley Shipp at a comic convention one year. A super cool dude, and he's on the current Flash TV series. I have no idea if this is a good game, but as a Flash fan and as a retro gaming fan, I definitely could not say no when I saw this. Alright, we're going to move on to some thrifting finds. First one I want to show you is from Goodwill. It is something you don't see too often. It's a power cord, it's an AC adapter, and you might think it looks like a DS adapter, and that's because it's similar to it, but not necessarily. I got this for $2. $2, I don't know if you can see that light, it's pretty bright. But this is actually a Game Boy Advance power adapter, so you can plug it into the wall, and then this part actually goes into the battery cover, the cartridge pack in the back, and you can play your Game Boy Advance from the wall, and it separates there. I don't know if it's a rechargeable thing, because this piece is actually pretty light, but you can plug it right into the back, and then you should be able to power your Game Boy Advance from the wall. Moving on to Value Village finds. Value Village always comes through for me, more so than Goodwill. But the first thing I want to show, New Super Mario Bros. Tablecloth. It's just like one of those tablecloths that you'll get from like a dollar store or like a party store, like Party USA or something. This was just 99 cents. It looks unused, it's very clean. I don't know, I might use it for conventions and stuff, or trade nights when I get a table. I just thought it was very fun decoration piece essentially. Next up from Value Village, pretty standard thing. Can never have too many of these. It's just an N64 controller, pretty standard, but it's an awesome shape. The thumbstick is really good. Look at that, snaps right back into place. Very clean, and it definitely helps that it was only $5. Funny thing is, I actually just sent one out exactly like this to my buddy Basic Bits, because he is gonna do a stick swap with the steel sticks, I should say. It's essentially replacement parts made out of machine metal for the controller sticks, and they're supposed to be pretty good. But I don't know. I sent one over to him. He's going to be doing a review of them. He's going to put it together, and we'll see how it goes. So keep an eye out for that. Alright, and we got a couple games from Value Village, surprisingly. First thing, Game Boy game. Actually, two things. Two Game Boy games. First one is Donkey Kong Land 3. and this one's in pretty good shape. I got it for $5 there, and it's actually not a bad game. I actually have this one in my collection already, but I figured for $5, definitely not a bad pickup, especially if I want to trade it. The other Game Boy game is Wario Land Super Mario Land 3. So this is just Wario Land. This one's kind of in rough shape. This one was $10, but I did have a coupon that I could use to lower the price a bit. I only picked it up just because I was picking up Donkey Kong Land 3, and I wanted to use the coupon, of course. But I actually don't have this game in my collection. I have like Wario Land 2, 3, and 4. I was just missing the first one. So for $10 at a Value Village with a coupon, not a bad pickup there. And the last thing from Value Village is actually a little bit more of an obscure item, an item you don't normally see. It is a power adapter. I got this for $2.99, and this is a Sega Genesis Universal AC adapter. And they say universal because it works with the Genesis, the Nomad, the 32X, and the Game Gear. So this is, I believe, I forgot what model it is. It's like the MK2103 or something along those lines. But this one comes in the box. The box is in pretty decent shape considering that it's from like 1991 or maybe 1993 because it's a Model 2 type of thing. But pretty cool. It was only $3. And the funny thing is, that specific Value Village actually had a Model 1 Genesis behind the showcase with a couple controllers and the cords and nothing else, just that. And they wanted $50 for it. So they were charging a pretty not, I don't want to say solid, but pretty hefty price tag on that Genesis. But then I walked down the aisle, see this in the electronics section for $3. I'm like, this is a way better deal. Alright, and we've reached that point where I'm going to show off some games. I kind of got retail. I mentioned earlier it's kind of retail. The first one's from eBay, and I mentioned in one of my earlier pickup videos that during Black Friday I was able to pick up a few games during one of their deals, one of their promotions, and it finally came. The game is nothing too special, but it's one I've been looking for. It is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the Nintendo 64. It's an alright shape. The camera can't really focus in on it just now, just right. I do need to clean it still. It's a little bit dirty, but I had been looking for this game for a good amount of time. It's a little bit uncommon, and the whole reason behind this is because it is the last officially licensed and released game for the Nintendo 64. It's the last game released for the Nintendo 64 library, and therefore sometimes those games can get kind of harder to find. So you got games like Frogger on Super Nintendo, Wario Woods on the NES, and so on and so forth. But this game was the last one I needed for the trilogy on the N64. I'm definitely glad that I got it, especially for a decent deal with the eBay promotion during Black Friday. Next game is from Another Castle Video Games, which is a local brick and mortar store that's around me. It's a great store. They have great trade-in values, great staff, and always a great selection. I noticed that they posted up on one of their Facebook posts about some of the new stock that they got in, and something caught my eye immediately. So the next thing that I did after I got off work was gather up all my extra duplicates, low-end duplicates, and I traded it in, and I was able to walk out with this game. It is Raiden Trad for Super Nintendo, and this one's in alright shape. I haven't cleaned it yet. I haven't cleaned these games just because I got them so recently, but it's a pretty fun little game. It's a port of the the Raiden franchise. It's a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up, and it's alright. I actually haven't played this one yet. I've played mostly the ones on PlayStation, but I wanted to see how it held up on the Super Nintendo hardware. From what I've seen, from the gameplay that I've seen, it's honestly probably not as impressive in terms of the sprites and the sprite work and the artwork and the backgrounds and all the different effects. But I do like shmups. I like shoot 'em ups, and I do like the Raiden franchise. I remember playing Raiden a lot back in the day, so I decided this is kind of an uncommon game. I don't really come across it too often. Might as well pick it up, especially for it's a game that's about $20. So it's pretty affordable, and it definitely helped that I traded in stuff, but I figured that it was worth a try. Alright, the next pickup is more or less a summary of another pickup. I have a different video. I haven't uploaded it yet, but essentially it is a GameCube bundle that my fiance spotted on Facebook. What is a pickup video from Digidesdan without something that's spotted by my fiance? So the story is, in short, there was a post on Facebook with a kind of blurry picture of a GameCube bundle. It had 2 games. One was Metroid Prime, and the other was Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which we have here. Show you that. I kept this. I actually traded in the GameCube, the controllers, and Metroid Prime towards my store credit in Another Castle Video Games. So that helped pay for, or that did pay for Raid and Tread, and then some. But it came with this. But there was something in the picture that caught our eye, just a small little glimmer of hope, essentially, of value, of rareness, of obscurity, and that is these. We saw this little green in there, and we saw the tip of this little port adapter, and we're like, we have to get this bundle just because it was a good deal, first off. But the guy who was selling it was actually 4 hours away, and it was a low enough deal, or a low enough price for the bundle, that we could justify asking him to ship it. And of course he agreed. He was super nice, super cool. He was willing to ship it to us. So not only did we get a bundle deal for a great price, he shipped it to us for only like $20 more, which is not bad. But these are sorry to get off track. These are Nintendo GameCube component cables. They increase the graphical output of your GameCube. So your GameCube will be able to output 480p, I believe. It's either 480p or 480i, and these are highly sought after, mostly because these cables themselves were only available through Nintendo. So you either had to order them on Nintendo's online store, or I believe you could call in as well. They never sold it in Walmart or Fred Meyer or Best Buy or any of those stores, or even GameStop. But these gave you a high definition, high definition by those standards back in the day, a high definition graphical output for your Nintendo GameCube. And the whole reason why these are so expensive, not only because you had to call into Nintendo or order them from Nintendo, it required a special processing chip on the inside of this port here. This is why this part is so big, and it's proprietary to Nintendo. Nobody could recreate it, and so companies like Mad Catz couldn't recreate it, essentially reverse engineer it. And it's taken until 2016, I believe, before someone could, and that took a lot of work. But either way, these are very cool. I don't know, it was kind of surreal, because we saw it in the picture, we barely even saw the green in there, and we just saw this tip, and I recognized them, and so we had to ask him if the guy would be willing to ship, and of course he was so cool about it. He shipped it to us for only $20 more, and we paid him over like PayPal or something, and yeah, it got to us. Lo and behold, we opened up the box, and these were sitting right on top, and yeah, it's super exciting. Like these are a big deal. Anyways, thank you so much for viewing. It's always a pleasure to have viewers like you. I'm pointing at you and you and you and you. Thank you so much. It means so much to me that I have support and people watching and getting enjoyment out of my videos. It motivates me to do more. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe, that sort of thing. Check out some of my other videos. I got other pickups, tips and tricks, gameplay, and even streams. If you like streaming, check me out on twitch.tv.com. And with that being said, we'll see you guys on the next one.